Hi. So, yesterday, being the 13th of January, I watched the Mean Girls musical at the movies. I went with my sister, and so let's go with the first musical review of 2024, Mean Girls. So this one is distributed by Paramount, which I thought was interesting because most musical movies are distributed by Universal, so I wanted to point that out. It was very interesting. Some context. This movie is a film adaptation of the musical adaptation of the 2004 movie starring Lindsay Lohan. So it has a screenplay by Tina Fey, who wrote the book for the Broadway musical and also the screenplay for the 2004 movie. So it's all in that sort of way. I want to start out with saying that the costuming calls back to the original movie quite well. The blue plaid shirt that Katie wears is very similar to the same outfit, if not exactly the same outfit, that was worn in the 2004 movie, which I thought was really cool. The dialogue is also pretty similar, which I also thought was quite good. So you had some of your classic lines that still made it in there. So you had the fetch line and get in loser, we're going shopping and things like that. They stayed, which was also really good because it helped to keep referring you back. I loved the choreography. It was really good. The timing was really well. The movements were well timed and happened in pretty good sync with each other. Right off the bat with the first song, What Ifs, you had the choreography was really great, and I just really liked it. I'm not a dancer. I do not claim to be any good or knowledgeable about choreography, but I would say this was quite good. The Stupid with Love scene was really cute because that would be the typical teenager who grew up being homeschooled, first finding out about love, and she doesn't know how to do things, and she's so confident that she's great with math, but she is absolutely useless when it comes to love, and it was adorable, and the choreography in that was also quite good. I liked being able to see more clearly that Gretchen had self-confidence issues. I really should have watched the original movie before going in to see this one. I don't think that was touched on as much in the original movie. In this one, we literally gave Gretchen a solo, What's Wrong With Me, for her to touch on the fact that she has these self-confidence issues and she doesn't know how to fix them. I also liked that the Halloween scene was definitely a callback to the original movie. Right down to costumes. I liked that scene gets introduced through Karen's song of Sexy. I didn't so much like the song. I liked the way that they integrated social media into it, but the way that they kind of went and transitioned into that Halloween scene was really good, and the costuming was also amazing for that. I liked that they gave Katie the same costume that she had in the original movie. We had Regina's solo being Somebody Gets Hurt. That was also really good. The tableau effect in that. Tableau being when you've got a person usually doing a soliloquy in a stage performance and the people around them are still as statues. I liked having that tableau effect in Regina's song through this Halloween scene. So you had all the partygoers just kind of froze, and the only people who were moving were Regina and Aaron, except for when she interacted with a character or said that somebody gets hurt line or touched, interacted, So that was a really good effect because it helped keep the audience focused on, this is Regina's moment, we're going to listen to this and find out that she's got some backstory stuff. I liked that, sorry, my handwriting is terrible in this. I liked that we found out the Janice and Regina backstory, and it kind of like immediately flowed into the Revenge Party scene, which I will say is, Revenge Party is amazing. It's a great song. Yeah. So to be able to see that and have a whole song that's based on this teenage idea of, they've hurt me, I'm going to get revenge for it, that was really good, because that is a thing that happens. And just the whole idea that there was a montage and things went from being like dark and gloomy because Halloween to bright and colourful, a lot of pastels and solid colours and things, showing that like this is a fantasy scene, this is a montage of someone's idea and plan. It was really good. I feel like Katie's arc, like her character arc in this movie musical adaptation, might actually be a little worse than in the original film, because she seems to be a bit harsher, and I guess because the pacing is different, being that you've got like the music montages that help you to figure out like, oh, this is happening after this amount of time, so it happens a lot faster, so that might be it. Just a side note, these teenage films where you have like that turning point where the protagonist suddenly realizes that the world is falling apart around them because of what they've done is a really good tactic in cinema. I really like that. So for this one, it was at Katie's party, when Janice finds out that she lied and everything just crumbles, and she says some harsh things to Janice, and Janice says some harsh things back to her, and she realizes, oh, I've gone terrible, sort of thing. It's interesting. The I'd Rather Be Me scene has a really good message, being that, like, yeah, as a teenage girl growing up, you do tend to compare yourself to other people and have these moments where people will talk behind your back and pull faces and roll their eyes at things you've said. But if you really think about it, it's better off to just be yourself, because eventually you'll find someone who likes you for that, and you'll grow used to the people rolling their eyes behind your back, and you won't care as much. It's coming from me, who spent most of my high school career having people roll their eyes behind my back and hate me. So, take it from me, eventually things will get better. And that's essentially the whole message behind the I'd Rather Be Me scene is, hey, don't try to build yourself up to other people's expectations, just be yourself, because some people are horrible. And the message gets carried on through Katie's speech at the Spring Fling and her song I See Stars, but instead of being a first-person perspective into the message, it's a third-person perspective where Katie is saying, hey, you're all beautiful, and we don't need to be criticizing everyone because we're all just trying to get through. So it kind of harkens back to what Janice had said, and it allows a slight sense of reconciliation between them. So I liked that. That was really good. Yeah, so those are all points that I liked, some songs that were really interesting to me. It was very jarring to have the I'd Rather Be Me scene get cut off by Regina getting hit by the bus. That was concerning, and yeah, but it did have that sort of effect of like, yeah, you get so caught up in your own thing that you kind of forget what's happening in the world around you. So it definitely helped bring that point around as well. Yeah, Yeah, so overall, I think the movie is good. I might prefer it to the original movie. That's not to say that I don't like Lindsay Lohan and Rachel McAdams and Amanda Seyfried, because I do. I love them. They're great. But I find messages are easier to pick out if they're in musical form. I would also say that this is a good movie for the new generation. The 2004 Mean Girls movie is for like the 90s kids and the early 2000s kids who grew up with these. But then you've got this 2024 movie, which is for the 2010s kids who are about to go into high school and do this, or the people who have just finished high school and are going to watch this and be like, oh yeah, that makes sense. So it's not a reboot and it's not a remake. It is almost an extension and a reimagining to make it relatable to the new generation of people. With the use of having social media there, it also helps to show like how things spread a lot faster these days because of social media. And I liked that. I liked that the beginning and end of the movie were just a little video of Janice and Damien telling you, hey, I'm gonna give you a story. It's a warning for you to not do this because this is all terrible and bad, and it may have turned out good in the end, but still, here's the story of how this happened and why it has to be good in the end and why you shouldn't do it. So I think that was really good. Now I want to move to my sister's thoughts. It's the little side segment in the videos that I'm calling Becky's Thought Corner. And she doesn't want to be on camera, but I got her to tell me her ideas and I wrote them down so I can read them out to you. So she thought the music was okay and the acting was good. She thinks that she understood the story better with the music, which I usually have that feeling, especially with like historical movies, like historical musicals. Her favourite song was I'd Rather Be Me, because it had a good message. Her favourite character is Janice, and she liked the message that I'd Rather Be Me presents. And that would be our review for Mean Girls. So concluding, and in a nutshell, we've got the movie was good. It was a good adaptation of the Broadway musical and a good reimagining of the original classic for the new generation. It's got good songs, the dialogue is pretty much on par with the original, and yeah, costuming is also the same. So you had some slight early 2000s costuming in a 2020s movie, but that's neither here nor there, so yeah. So that's the nutshell. Mean Girls, good. The next musical coming out is The Color Purple. I'm doing some research on that at the moment. I watched the original 1985 movie with Whoopi Goldberg and Oprah Winfrey. I'm listening to the musical soundtracks. I started with the original Broadway cast and now I'm moving on to the new Broadway cast. So I will have lots to say about that when that comes out. I think I'm going to be watching that with my mum. So instead of the Becky's Comments Corner, it'll be the Mother's Comments Corner. But other than that, that's it for this video. I hope you enjoyed it. Next week I should hopefully have either the trimmings or the reveal for the wishing dress done. So be sure to subscribe, give this video a like, ring the bell so you are notified when I post new videos. I'm trying to get them out on Mondays, but You know, sometimes things don't work out quite like I want them to, but they will usually be posted before the end of the week. So, go out and watch Mean Girls, because it's really good, and I'll see you next week. Bye!